The B-2 Spirit is a $2 billion stealth bomber built to slip past the world's most advanced air defenses. Nearly 50 meters wide, yet radar invisible, this flying wing can deliver devastating payloads deep in enemy territory. Born from Cold War secrecy, its futuristic design and engineering rewrote the rules of aerial warfare. Cold War tensions, the need for a ghost in the sky. The year was 1975, and the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union was at a boiling point. America's nuclear deterrent at the time relied heavily on the B-52 Stratofortress, a massive bomber capable of carrying enough nuclear payloads to flatten cities. Squadrons of these giants sat ready at bases like Shepherd Air Force Base in Texas, prepared to launch within minutes. Their routes stretched across the Arctic, Greenland, Alaska, and into the Mediterranean, ever watchful, ever ready, but there was a problem. Soviet air defenses were evolving fast. Advanced radar systems and surface-to-air missiles had turned Soviet skies into a lethal no-go zone for traditional bombers. As one Air Force general put it, sending a B-52 into Soviet territory was like throwing a rock at a hornet's nest while wearing a neon target on your chest. The US needed something different, something undetectable. Enter the Advanced Technology Bomber program with a bold objective: design a bomber that could infiltrate enemy territory like a ghost, drop its payload, and vanish before the enemy even realized it was there. It was an almost impossible task, like building an invisible elephant, but history had already planted the seed for such an aircraft decades earlier. The forgotten dream of the flying wing. Rewind to 1946. World War II had just ended, and while most Americans turned to building homes and cars, aviation pioneer Jack Northrop was chasing a radical vision: the flying wing. Imagine an aircraft with no fuselage, no tail, just one massive aerodynamic wing. In 1947, Northrop's dream took shape in the YB-49, a jet-powered flying wing with a 50-meter span. It was far ahead of its time, but there was a fatal flaw. Without modern computer systems, it was notoriously unstable in flight. The Air Force deemed it impractical and ordered all prototypes destroyed by 1949. For decades, the flying wing concept lay dormant until the ATB program resurrected it in the late 1970s. In 1978, the Air Force awarded the stealth bomber contract to none other than Northrop Corporation, giving Jack Northrop's dream a second chance. This time, decades of technological progress and virtually unlimited funding would make it possible. Engineering the invisible, the B-2's unique design. Designing a bomber that could vanish from radar screens meant abandoning conventional aircraft design entirely, and the B-2 Spirit is the result of that bold approach. Adopting and refining the flying wing concept, the B-2 features a sleek, bat-like profile that removes traditional fuselages, tails, and vertical stabilizers, components that typically reflect radar waves. This continuous wing surface not only slashes its radar cross-section, but also boosts aerodynamic efficiency, enabling intercontinental missions with ease. Beneath its smooth exterior lies one of its most closely guarded secrets: a coating of radar-absorbent materials capable of soaking up radar energy instead of reflecting it, while minimized seams further reduce detectability. Powering the aircraft are four General Electric F118-GE-100 turbofan engines hidden deep within the wing, with top-mounted intakes to avoid ground-based radar detection and exhaust systems designed to cool and disperse heat, lowering the B-2's infrared signature. Its airframe is built primarily from carbon graphite composites, materials that are strong, lightweight, and radar transparent, and each section is assembled with such precision that even the slightest misalignment could compromise its stealth. Taming the flying wing. Advanced flight controls. Flying wings by nature are unstable. Without a tail, they tend to yaw and pitch unpredictably. The B-2 solves this with an ultra-advanced fly-by-wire system, a computer-controlled network that constantly makes micro-adjustments to keep the aircraft stable. This system is so advanced that it allows the B-2 to perform maneuvers impossible for other aircraft of its size. It's essentially a massive, stealthy aircraft that feels to its pilots like it's flying on rails. The big reveal. The B-2 Spirit made its public debut on November 22nd, 1988, rolling out of a hangar in Palmdale, California. The world got its first glimpse of an aircraft that looked like it had stepped straight out of the future. It was the culmination of decades of trial and error, Cold War urgency, and bleeding-edge research. With over 130 onboard computers, the B-2 combined stealth shape, radar-absorbing materials, and electronic countermeasures to achieve near invisibility. Its radar cross-section is roughly roughly 1,000 times smaller than that of a B-52. On a radar screen, it's like trying to spot a pigeon instead of a passenger jet. Capabilities. The muscle behind the mystery. Stealth is only part of the B-2's power. This bomber can carry 20 tons of ordnance, everything from precision-guided conventional bombs to nuclear weapons. For conventional missions, it can deliver up to 80 GPS-guided bombs, striking multiple targets in a single sortie. For hardened underground facilities, it can deploy the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator, a 15-ton bunker buster capable of smashing through deeply buried defenses. Range and endurance. On a single tank, the B-2 can fly over 11,000 kilometers, enough to go from New York to Moscow with fuel to spare. With aerial refueling, its range is effectively global. It's designed to cruise at 901 kilometers per hour at altitudes of up to 50,000 feet, high above most weather systems and well beyond the reach of many air defenses. Crew and navigation. Despite its size, the B-2 needs only 2 crew members, a pilot and a mission commander. They oversee advanced avionics, mission systems, and navigation equipment that can operate even if GPS is disabled by using celestial navigation based on star positions. The B-2 is fully capable of operating day or night in all weather conditions, and even automatically performing terrain-following flight to avoid obstacles and radar detection. The price of invisibility. At a staggering $2 billion per aircraft, the B-2 Spirit stands as the most expensive plane ever built, with only 21 units produced, making it one of the most exclusive assets in aviation history. Its extraordinary cost stems from several factors. The use of cutting-edge materials and stealth technologies so advanced that many details remain classified. The labor-intensive maintenance required to preserve its radar-absorbent skin, which must be reapplied regularly, and the continuous stream of upgrades that have made modern B-2s far more capable than those that debuted in the late 1980s. Supporters argue that such an investment is justified as it provides a virtually unmatched strategic advantage: the ability to deliver precision strikes anywhere on the planet without ever being detected. Enter the B-21 Raider, even ghosts age. While the B-2 remains a formidable weapon, the US Air Force is preparing its successor, the B-21 Raider. The Raider promises to be smaller, cheaper, and easier to maintain, yet just as stealthy. It will also serve multiple roles, not just as a bomber, but as an intelligence-gathering hub integrated into a wider network of unmanned and manned systems. If it lives up to its promise, it will be the first 6th-generation aircraft of its kind, a legacy that will fly on from Jack Northrop's abandoned flying wing to a Cold War necessity, and finally to an operational stealth bomber. The B-2 Spirit represents the pinnacle of aerospace engineering and strategic thinking. It's not just a machine, it's a symbol of how far technology can push the limits of physics, stealth, and endurance. For decades, it has haunted enemy radar screens, or rather, avoided them entirely. The B-2 may one day be replaced, but its legend as the ghostly giant that changed aerial warfare will endure for generations. And that wraps up our deep dive into the legendary B-2 Spirit, the ghost of the skies. If you enjoyed exploring its history, engineering, and unmatched capabilities, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our next journey into groundbreaking technology. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the future B-21 Raider? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.